I'm late. Listen, I need help. Somebody that's always here early needs to, after the music ends, remind me to start the Facebook stream. Because some bitch-ass company is claiming this music as copyright on Facebook, and I have to go back and say, no, it's not. It's not copywritten. It's, you know, it's copyright-free music. From Harris Heller and, you know, Stream Beats or whatever. But I have to do that for every show, and then it takes months to get a response from them. It's like ridiculous. So after the music ends, I need to remember to start the Facebook stream. That way they won't be taking it's nothing. I mean, it's like fucking $5 a month I get from Facebook. But still, I'm sure they're doing this to thousands of people. They're stealing my money. It's ridiculous. If you do that, it's $3 a month, but if you do it to 10,000 people, fuck them. So once the music ends, I need to share it to Facebook and then share all the links on Facebook like I normally do, and then I'll be ready to start while the Linda Benda thing's going on. Also, I don't have a whole lot planned tonight. I was actually working on something like some updates, so we're just going to see if that all goes smooth. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It wasn't just them. It was on a panel, right? We showed part of it on I showed part of it on the stream. We basically made Enrique Tarrio look like a Enrique Tardio. It was bad. Like, it was bad. The clips I saw. I haven't seen it all.
What you think about when you
How good was it?
Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They want to let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Yeah, I want to watch the whole thing. It just falls to the wayside. So much shit to get done in a day, dude. I am late tonight. I was about an hour late. But even my late is early. So, how about that? And I'm still ending around midnight, so be prepared.
Raised to lose
My new late is extra early. All right, Dr. J, listen to me. You gotta be my captain here, okay? When the music ends, every show, when the music ends, somebody's got to remind me to start the Facebook stream because they're claiming it. They're claiming copyright on it, even though it's not copyright. And I fight it, and it takes like months to fight it. It's not worth it. And they're stealing like $3 to $5 from me a month, but they're probably doing that to thousands of people, and I don't want them doing it to me. So right now, I'm going to start the Facebook stream, and then we're going to roll Linda Benda, and I will forget so much.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Benda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not.
Okay, if a million people try reminding me, I'm just not going to do it out of spot. Just so everybody knows.
As you can, there's a lot of weird things that
I feel like
go
you're judging
on,
me.
especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Benda land. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for
watching. It's like the volume thing.
Peace out.
One person tells me it's muted. Good. 1,000 people tell me it's muted. We're shutting the show down. Understand? Everybody know where we're at? Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with me, showing up, whatever. I know I'm a little bit late off our new schedule, new old schedule. I found a project I'm super interested in. I think I want to try to recreate or do my own version of. Let me see if I can I show it to you? I can leave that there for a second. Hold on. So you guys know I ride one wheel. I like electric vehicles. I like building electric things. Built a couple electric go-karts and things. I saw this, and I want to make a version of this. It looks so fucking cool. My nephew sent it to me. So right now, I'm on Facebook Marketplace looking for a busted-ass, non-running, small sport quad. Like a four-wheeler that is like sportsy looking. Because check this shit out.
This is the first of its kind. A landmark in micromotive history. An electric hyper.
Look at this. Look how bad this thing is.
Break the rules and look fucking cool doing it. This is.
So I'm looking for a small, like basically like a children's, like a 110 to like a 250, like a smaller sized four-wheeler frame that like doesn't run. It's all fucked up. To strip down to have a base frame, which I'll probably have to change a lot of it, but still, at least the frame's there. Battery, motor, and I'm going to build an electric quad, I think.
The Monster Quad!
That's bad.
Come on, dude. The most comfortable thing I've ever ridden. There's so much space on here.
You have to admit, that's pretty fucking badass. There's a bunch of videos of it. My nephew sent me like 4 videos of it. But that's cool as shit.
This is the first of its kind.
Plus it'd be quiet, right? Because it's electric.
One-hand drift, no way.
Ride it in town and shit. Dude, that's bad as shit.
Like, bro, look at this thing. It's
I would like to find a non-running, but everybody thinks their shit's like gold. Like I found a little 250 Suzuki quad. Like it's missing the fucking valve cover, and like it's been sitting out in the rain. There's no plastics, no wiring. It looks like it was halfway on fire, and they want $385 for it. Like what the fuck what do you think you have? You have like $60 in scrap. Like I'd give you $100 for it. You want $380 or $385? Get the fuck out of here.
Beautiful. The paint job's insane. This is the first
That's
of
pretty
its
sweet.
kind.
My nephew sent it to me. I think he sent me a couple of different ones. Hold on. Yeah. Look at this one. Dude, that's bad. That's little go-kart tires stretched out. Dude, that's cool as shit. But I don't want like a pre-made one. I want to make one, I think. That white and red goes good. Yeah, that goes pretty hard. What's this last video? We got just one more. Oh shit, what just happened?
Today.
Oh, was that the same one? Was there only 3? I thought there was 4. God damn it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think you just sent one twice, maybe.
This is the first of its kind. Space on here.
Anyways, it's pretty cool. This is what I get sent all the time. All I want for Christmas is you. Got him lined up, dude. That's the first time you go to a black barber, bro. Get him lined up. All right, you ready to see something that'll piss you off? That's what I'm here for, right? To piss people off. Here we go. Let's full screen this bitch. So this guy, his name is, what was his name? Michael Torba? And he's from Pennsylvania, okay? Check this shit out. Mr. Michael Torba. You know, talking about the Somali fraud and whatnot.
Yo, are you Queenie?
Yes.
Let me.
So the woman goes by the name Queenie.
Are you Queenie?
Yes.
Let me ask a question. How do you get to this country and have this much money to start a store and buy houses for $500,000?
$500,000? Where's
Yeah,
that?
the house on
She's an immigrant and a business owner.
Crossridge that you were trying to buy for $500,000.
A crest?
Crossridge that you put an offer in for $500,000.
Oh, well, then we'll finance you.
I'm trying to ask.
Hey.
I'm
Be
trying to ask.
nice.
No.
What's going on?
How would he know that she put in an offer to buy a $500,000 home?
We'll finance you.
I'm trying to ask.
Hey.
I'm
Be
trying to ask.
nice.
No.
What's going on?
I'm trying to ask.
Yeah.
How are you niggers getting in here and doing whatever the fuck you want?
Whoa. Whoa.
Who?
You niggers.
Stop.
You monkeys.
Stop.
And doing whatever you think you can do.
Stop. What's
with us in
going
this
on? I need it.
Todora, not Torba. Torba is the guy that made Gab. This is Torda. Tordoa? Hold on, let me look it up. Todora. 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 Torba, which is probably what I said, was the guy who made Gab.
Get away from me.
I'm asking you.
Get away from me.
I'm just asking you a question.
Get away from me.
Why are you?
He's casually throwing around the N-word and calls her a monkey.
How do you have money to buy all this bread?
Security, please. I need a security. Get away from me.
I'm just asking. How come
Get away from me.
white people can't fill a shopping cart,
White people can't fill a shopping cart.
but these monkeys come in our country? You're a monkey. You're a monkey.
Can somebody call me a security, please?
And they come in this country. These ones too. What are you guys doing? You gonna fill up a whole shopping cart? Are you gonna fill a whole shopping cart up?
Don't talk to him. Don't talk to him. Take your stupid camera somewhere.
Niggers.
information and send it to me.
How fucking insane. Michael Todora, Todora. But then it goes back to, how would this guy, so this guy's made a bunch of these racist videos confronting people, okay? And he posts them on Twitter. Finally, this is the one that goes viral, and they're like, oh, he's went way too fucking far, so he starts going viral and picking up speed. How would he know that she put a $500,000 offer on a home or attempted to buy a $500,000 home? Or how would he know about her personal life and personal finances? Just so happens this guy's wife is a real estate agent. But she swears she didn't know nothing about it. She didn't have nothing to do with it. They've been separated. He can't see his kids. He's posting all. But then some locals happen to see them together at church. Here's her post. Aunt Amanda Todora. I never wanted to share my personal life online, but unfortunately, how are you married to somebody for 15 years? You don't understand they have these views against black people. Let me get started by saying I'm shocked and disgusted by the videos I've seen circulating online. I assure you these beliefs and behaviors are not representative of my heart. I know it's hard to believe that a person can change so quickly and rapidly, but when you allow Satan to infiltrate your heart and mind and you mix in very dangerous political propaganda, the change can happen fast. He is here to kill, steal, and destroy, and that is exactly what Michael has allowed him to do to our family. 15 years is a very long time to spend with a person, and to see them change into a different person has been heartbreaking. Ultimately, it came down to having to move myself and my children into a different home and environment a few months ago, which may or may not be true. I assure you, I've tried very hard to get him to see how his views are dangerous and harmful to others. It is possible to not fully know the person that you are married to and for them to hide things from you. The videos I'm seeing online are scary and shocking, and I had no clue he was spending his time doing this since we've been separated. I do not have X, and I've been off Instagram for many months, if not over a year. I've worked extremely hard to rebuild a new life for my sons, and in the last few months. As a mother, I'm doing everything I can to protect and keep them safe, as well as raise them to be kind and loving human beings. They are a loving representative of Christ, and I'm very proud of the way I'm raising them to treat others. Michael's actions have affected us tremendously, and I have picked up the pieces for myself and my children many times over. It hurt my heart to see the video. No one deserves to be treated that way ever. I'm sorry that she had to go through that, and especially publicly while doing her grocery shopping. I cannot imagine being in her shoes in that moment and the fear she must have felt. It should be known, it has been well over a year since I had an active license to practice real estate. Not true. You can look her up today. The information he received did not come from me, and I had absolutely nothing to do with the sale of that house that Augusta Gall bought, sold, or wrote an offer on. I have zero knowledge of anything she does or has done in the past or present. Thank you to those who have reached out to me with the kind words and concern. Thank you to those who have told me that they know this isn't my character or my heart, even those I haven't spoken to in years. I appreciate it more than you know. I kindly ask you, do not share photos of my children. Now, the children are the only thing I'm going to say is offline. I think she knew. I think she gave him the information, but whatever. And that the death threats upon them and myself will come to an end. I kindly ask that you do not associate me with the views of a person I chose to walk away from. I kindly ask that the constant phone calls, messages, text messages from blocked numbers at all hours of the night will stop. I understand you are angry, hurt, and need someone to blame. I am so sorry for the pain he has caused. Please know that I do not reside with Michael, and there is nothing more I can do at this time. Please respect mine and my children's privacy. Thank you. So, Amanda, the children never get to choose, right? The children never get to choose. But then, how did she not know? By the way, you guys want to see his apology? He apologized. So first of all, he came to this woman's store. Michael Todora came to visit at Queen's Market in Chilori, I don't know, to redeem an apology to me. I was not there, but when told my stomach drop, I am scared of him. And he leaves this note behind. Queenie, this is Michael Todora. I am sorry for my rude comments towards you. This has been a nightmare It's too much. I'm very sorry, Michael Todora. Call me if you want to. No anger. So that's the weird, creepy note. And here is his apology. Listen to this apology. You tell me if he's sincerely like he just had a mental break and we need to forgive him, or if he's just mad he got caught. Listen to this apology. I never should uploaded those to X. I should have never treated an individual with such disrespect. We've gone so long allowing ourselves to be disrespected that we don't even notice all the little times that we allow ourselves to be walked on. I'm sick of being all give, no gets. I walked in Walmart and saw someone who's been here for very little time at all and has been giving no stop help from a government that does nothing but take from us. So I asked her why she has so much, and I was too angry to hear her out. I didn't actually attack her. I don't actually hate her. I'm sick of nobody doing anything to pull us up. I'm sick of our ancestors watching us underneath the heels of the people who hate us. I just don't know what to do. My wife left me. I can't see my kids anymore. I hate this fight. I hate the way the world is. I hate that we get taken advantage of so hard that you can't ignore it. But everyone just ignores it as hard as they can. But now I'm in a situation I can't get out of. I want the life I was supposed to have. I want my family. I just want them to be safe. And it's not like mine are in danger and yours are safe. All of our families are always unsafe. South Africa is our future. Now, what does he mean by South Africa? That there's a white genocide like Trump thinks, right? South Africa is our future. A bunch of people trying to ignore a problem away until they break in your house and it's too late. Who breaks into your house and it's too late? I've been trying to nip it in the bud for too many years alone. I always tell myself that maybe there are white kids out there hoping more of us would stand against the bullies, but there aren't. I just can't do this anymore, at least not the way I'm doing it. I quit activism. It's like the world is rotating one way, and I'm trying to rotate it back all on my own. Exactly like it. This is too much for one dude. Does that sound like a valid apology, or? Sounds like excuses, right? This is why I did it, and this is what I believe. Then we have this. This is in replies. He's talking to a woman who's married to a black man, okay? And he says, your obsession with legal bestiality is no longer a political party. The age of clapped out women is coming to an end. The person kind of ignores him, doesn't know what's going on. Number two, she says, what the fuck are you on about? Legal bestiality, random, incoherent alphabet soup, typical. He says, no, I'm specifically talking about your specific fascination with legal bestiality. Then on page 3, they say, there's nothing specific in either of your comments. Legal bestiality doesn't exist. Like, it's not a thing. Wait, do you copulate with animals and think it's legal? It's not. I can't believe I have to tell you this. Additionally, you don't know me at all to know an iota about my fascinations, let alone specific fascinations of mine. And he says, you know what I'm talking about, then puts a heart beside a monkey. Again, this woman, you can see in the profile picture, I can see in the profile picture, this woman's with a black man. A white woman with a black man, he calls it legal bestiality. That's his Instagram comments. Then this was from their local news station, and he commented, if her parents didn't stop her from associating with the you-know-whats, she's long gone. And someone says, we don't know what. Can you please clarify specifically? He says, I'm not interested in hearing or reading what you have to say. What do you think he means by the you-know-whats? And there's people agreeing with him. You're exactly right. Then someone agreeing with him. Truly sad. I did not like anything about the video I saw. Although reading his apology letter, dude made some very valid points that millions of Americans, including myself, agree with. while he is being lambasted. This is the current MAGA movement, by the way. They're like, oh, I don't agree with him, screaming the N-word at her, but we got to fix this. They're stealing all of everything, and I don't have it. Dude made some very valid points that millions of Americans, including myself, agree with. While he is being lambasted by so many, take a look at yourself and realize you are doing the same. For the last several years, if you believe in the America First agenda, you're told you're a racist. They say white men are the biggest threat in our country. Only if you live in a bubble, you believe that. I do not condone this man's behavior in any way. I'm glad to see his letter of remorse. He obviously has issues and was triggered enough to attack this queen publicly. If you want to make changes, show up to vote. If you haven't noticed, mental illness is on the rise. We have judges and doctors who can't define a woman. We have children being groomed by teachers, men who think they can be women, people out there living in a land of make-believe. It used to be you came to America to live the American dream. Now it's for handouts. Reading some of these posts, I'm not surprised at many who are so misinformed. I suggest you all say a prayer, not only for this man, but for all the others who are purposely lying and causing the division in our country. Praying American flag peace symbol. This is a group he sent to one of his friends from back in like a high school friend, and it's called the Far Whites. And it says, you might hate me seeing this page, but you're a deep thinker. I'd like to know your take. And it says this group is intended for the overall betterment of white people. Non-whites will not be accepted. It's a page he started. Someone says, why are you so racist? Because a white guy asked questions about how the system that we pay into benefits people who do not belong in this country. Kind of a low IQ take, homie. Oh, and I heard people are threatening your job and safety, Michael. Call me. We have people that dox people like this and make examples out of them. Whites are free to do as every other race. Pfft. Delicate as your ears are, freedom of speech is freedom of speech. And he says, I'm completely ready. I want the smoke. I'm completely ready. I want the smoke. So, and then the person responds, says, bro, this shit is crazy to me. I think that that guy is a taxpayer whose taxes get dumped into their pockets, not ours. Invaders are not welcome. This is someone else trying to justify it. It says a racist person is a person that believes one race doesn't matter which one is superior to another. There are a few people with that mindset. This man clearly feels that way. Myself, I know people from every demographic and ethnicity that have skills I could only dream of. And I'm sure they feel that way about me. We are different but equal. Bigotry is a whole nother topic. A topic liberals don't want to talk about because every human being that's ever walked this earth not named Jesus is guilty of it. Myself, I'm bigoted towards Democrats. I cringe every time I hear them talk about toxic masculinity or putting tampons in the men's room or allowing full-grown men to be in a bathroom with little girls or when they talk about killing babies. I find it gross and disgusting. Do I wish harm on them? Absolutely not. This is America. Everyone can feel the way they want unless they cross the line. The guy in Walmart clearly did that. So until you wash yourself of your bigotry, maybe you should look at yourself in the mirror. Here's the person. My last and final post for the night is Amanda did not leave her husband. Friends with people to go to the same church. They were at every single church practice for a pageant together until the pageant itself was performed on December 21st. They were there as a family, hugging and kissing and holding hands and taking family photos. If that's your man and you know that he's a racist and you're going to stand by him, do it 10 toes deep. Even when the world finds out how deep of a sicko and racist he is. Don't get on the internet and lie and make it like you left him months ago when you're full of shit. Such a hypocrite, too. To really show your faces in a church and carry evil in your hearts. Like I said, if that's your man, let it be known. Don't get on the internet and try to lie and say you left him just because you don't want any backlash for you and your children. You signed up for that shit when you married a monster. Good night. I don't want anybody defending anything else from that girl. We need to stop normalizing making a woman a victim in every situation she's put in some way, shape, or form, because in this case, she is not guilty by association. as I had said in the beginning, and I tried giving her the benefit of the doubt, but her ass did not leave him. Don't ever show up to God's house with that much hate in your heart. Though I hope they find a new cult to attend instead of going to church where good, God-loving people go. And then this. He sends a message to the account that posted the video of him and says, hey, I want to ask if you can remove that video of me. The death threats to my wife and children are not slowing down. They keep calling me mentally challenged son a retard and threatening to kill her and all my kids. I understand you don't have to take it down. She doesn't deserve any of this. I'm simply asking to please lessen the burden. It's very bad. Sounds like he's sad he got caught. I wondered how he knew she put an offer in on the $500,000 home. Well, come to find out his wife is a realtor, and that is how he knew that information. I'm sorry, but she is not innocent in all this. She knew who she married. And then there's his apology again. Guy's a real shitbag, dude. Michael Todora, Amanda Todora from Pennsylvania. Now we're going to a topic that's probably going to piss me off. Matt Walsh talking about, so let me give a precursor. There are veterans. So Social Security disability, okay? When you get Social Security disability and you're 100% disabled, one of the qualifiers for that is like you haven't worked in a long time, right? You had to quit work. That's how you get 100% Social Security disability. You're disabled. VA disability isn't based on that, okay? It is how much of your ability they have removed from your life, depending on, it could be like relationships with others, going to family events. It can be your ability to work, but it's not solely based on how much you can work. And there's a scale you fill up. And when you hit that 100% scale, you can't go no farther. That's as much as they're going to give you, 10% scale. But being a 100% disabled veteran, and the veterans, now there are people who get both. Like I've got a buddy who gets 100% disability through the VA and 100% Social Security disability. He cannot work. 0 work days. He can't work. Traumatic brain injuries. He can barely make a sentence sometimes. Like his shit locks up. He can't even speak. Okay. But just being solely 100% through the VA doesn't mean you're 100% incapable of working and can never hold a job and you're like a fucking vegetable. All it does is mean that you filled up their scale to their maximum. This is what we're going to give you, basically. And some people don't understand that. So like when I tell people I'm disabled through the VA or whatever, it doesn't mean I can't work, won't work, doesn't work. It doesn't mean any of that. It doesn't mean I'm a fucking vegetable or whatever, right? On life support. It doesn't mean any of those things. I can still work a full-time job 100% and make as much money as I fucking wanted. If I made $1 million a fucking year, the VA is still saying, based on your medical records, based on your past history, based on the providers, based on our and it's hard. It's not fucking easy to get, dude. It took me goddamn 15 years to finish to get through the system, to dot every I and cross every T. And then even then I had to have a higher level review. Somebody helped me go through the system and they found a mistake they had made 10 fucking years ago that no one caught to fix my disability, VA disability. Matt Walsh doesn't think so. Matt Walsh, only because you guys remember Graham Plattner from Maine, who's running for office? Graham Plattner, who has PTSD and other issues, is 100% disabled veteran. I cannot get disabled parking because my disability has nothing to do with that. I can't get it. Obviously you can, like if you're missing a limb or have issues with your legs or walking or whatever. Graham Plattner is 100% disabled veteran. He's got PTSD. He's got back and knee problems and probably a plethora of things like me. I probably got, 50 fucking things listed on my disability claim through the VA. Every time, like, my knees are messed up, my back was messed up, airborne, all that shit, right? He's 100% disabled. Now he works on like an oyster boat or something, and he like fills in as a harbor master like certain days a week. He's the harbor master. When he's not the harbor master, he's on a boat, and he's running for Congress. Matt Walsh says, oh, you guys are big on the Somali fraud? Well, it's not just Somalis. Let me tell you about veterans. Basically, he claims the VA system is an honor system. You just tell them you're disabled, and they give you money. Let's watch his video. I pissed you guys off. Now I'm going to get pissed off.
We should really find out. In other words, we can't pretend.
He just finished talking shit about all the Somali daycares. Just now. That's what leads up to this. And then he's like, how much fraud is out there? Well, it's not just the Somalis.
That Somalis are the only ones scamming us with fake claims of autism and other disabilities. Yes, it is righteous to arrest and deport every single one of these people, which we should. Yes, Somalis are committing horrific crimes. Yes, their average IQ is extremely low. Yes, they should not be in this country in the first place. But it's also true that this goes much deeper. It's a much wider problem.
There's another clip on here with Caleb Hammer. I don't know if you know who Caleb Hammer is, but Caleb Hammer does financial audits. And he says, oh, well, basically every veteran I've talked to has had some form of disability through the VA. And tries to relate that to, oh, people are scamming the system. Or, hear me out, you're talking to people already in financial trouble, right, who served in the military, and maybe that's systemic with how hard the military is on your fucking body, dude. And they don't give a fuck when you're in. They don't give a single fuck, not a single fuck is given about your body when you're in. The mentality is just fucking do it.
Well, Americans are also committing an awful lot of fraud. In some cases, they're helping some.
Just don't quit. Keep trying after it, Amy. Good luck.
While lining their own pockets. In many other cases, they're simply helping themselves. So take, for example, the curious case of Graham Plattner, who's running for the Democrat Party's nomination for U.S. Senate in Maine.
My dad got it really quick. The lawyer said it's one of the quickest claims he had ever seen for disability. But basically, my dad didn't have a high school diploma, and his only job he ever had to dealt with driving trucks, right? And when they pulled his license, that's all he had ever known. His entire life was either driving trucks, working on trucks and doing test drives, or being in charge of people driving trucks. And his job required him to hold a CDL. So they pulled his CDL. My dad got it quick as shit. It wasn't like years. It was like a few months he had it. But my mom took forever. She went through the system for years. She had really bad carpal tunnel and shit. Like her hands would draw up. She couldn't use her fucking hands. Like they would knot up like this. And like she couldn't like pull them apart. Like her hands would draw down. That's where I probably got carpal tunnel from. But yeah, it took her a long time to get it. I know it's frustrating.
And Plattner is best known as the guy with the Nazi tattoo who supposedly didn't realize it was a Nazi tattoo. But what's interesting about Plattner is not the tattoo. What's interesting about him is that as of now, he has a disability rating of 100% from the Department of Veterans Affairs, which stems from his deployment to Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, publicly, Plattner has said that these benefits amount to roughly $5,000 a month or about $60,000 a year. Now, wait a minute, you might say. 100% disability. How can someone who is 100% disabled to the point that they receive a substantial amount of cash every year from the taxpayer possibly serve as a U.S. senator? Like, what does the term 100% mean? Because when I hear that, I think, oh, totally disabled. Like you are not able to do anything.
Yeah, but that's not what it is. There is a category like that. There's a category called TDIU, which is total disability based on unemployability. So that's when you go in and say, look, I don't max out your scale, right? But I can't get a job with the disability I got. And they say, okay, we're going to pay you at 100%, even though you're 60% or whatever, right? Because you can't hold a job because of your specific disabilities.
And yet you can serve as a U.S. senator?
And the VA system it's designed to make you quit. I swear to God, it's designed to make you frustrated and quit. Like if you have any mental health issues, The system is set up to piss you off. I swear to God it is.
Which, on second thought, given the quality of our politicians, maybe is not so hard to believe. But for that matter, he also continues to work as an oyster farmer and harbor master. Well, how does he do that if he's 100% disabled? It's 100% disabled.
Because that's not the same as being 100% Social Security disability.
A full-time job. He's 100% disabled. He's got a full-time job. He's running for Senate. 100% disabled. Now, in response, you might point out that under our current laws, it's possible to receive $60,000 a year with 100% disability while also working full-time in an extremely demanding job and obviously not being 100% disabled. And that's probably true. I'm not an expert in disability law, but I can say with absolute confidence that it should not be true.
It shouldn't be true. Matt Walsh wants to change the laws to prevent veterans that have severe disabilities that max out the VA scale to where either if you're 100%, then you got to be unable to work in any capacity, or you're not 100%. Matt Walsh, the Republican, a spokesperson for the Republican Party, wants to take benefits away from fucking veterans.
If you're capable of becoming a U.S. Senator and if you're capable of working on a boat for a living, then you are not 100% disabled and you don't need $60,000 from the taxpayer on account of your disability, period. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're a veteran, doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person. It's just a matter of common sense. It's a matter of like words mean things. 100% disabled means you shouldn't be working on a boat every day. But Graham Plattner, of course, is just one example of a much, much larger trend. Disability fraud in this country is rampant. And it's extremely expensive, particularly when it comes to the VA. Something like 7% of our taxes go to VA benefits.
Good. 7% of our taxes go to benefits for the people that we sent to fucking war. And the reason there's such an uptick, the Washington Post article didn't get this either. Why would there be such an uptick in Social Security, VA disability from 2000 to now? The Washington Post article that he's referencing here when he does his little story, only because it's Graham Plattner. If this guy was a Republican, no one would ever mention it, right? Only because it's Graham Plattner. This guy, the article he's referencing is like, oh, well, from 1980 to 2000, we only had like 3% of claims. And from 2000 to 2020, we had 38% claims. I wonder why. You ask people to go to war for 2 goddamn decades, bro. And everything we saw in the country blew up.
And you have to wonder how much of that is unnecessary spending on men like Graham Plattner. How much money are we spending?
Unnecessary spending on men like Graham Plattner.
Sending to fraudsters at the VA instead of actual American service members who could use the money for their own legitimate medical care. Because there are plenty of those people too.
So Matt Walsh has the ability to say this one doesn't deserve it. This one does. So we should take it from this one. Even though he's never seen his medical records, never talked to his doctor, has no idea what he suffers from or what's going on with him or why or how or what evidence he used to get that 100%. He says, oh, we should take it away from shitty people like Graham Plattner and give it to veterans who really deserve it.
Now, admittedly, from a political perspective, it's not as easy to go after fraudsters in the VA compared to, say, Somalis in Minnesota who can't even speak English. But it's arguably a lot more important to do so, especially since it's a more common and more expensive problem. And again, it's wasting resources that should be used to treat and assist veterans who actually need it. But apparently the VA basically...
Veterans who act... This is what they always say. When we go do something in another country, they say, why are we giving money to that country? We got homeless veterans. How many homeless veterans do they help when the money comes back home? When they think there's some type of fraud going on, they say, oh, we can't do that. We got our own homeless veterans. How many homeless veterans do they come when they cancel that fraud that's going on? Doge said it. Doge said, we got all this fraud going on, all these contracts. We got homeless veterans. Veterans suffering that could use that money. How many veterans do they help after it?
It operates on an honor system where if you say you're disabled, the money just starts flowing. Watch.
The honor system. If you've ever dealt with the fucking VA, the honor system. I had a police officer who tased me come testify. Is that the honor system?
Veterans who actually need it. But apparently the VA basically operates on an honor system where if you say you're disabled, the money just starts flowing. Watch.
If you say you're disabled, the money just starts flowing. You just go to the VA and say, I'm disabled. It took me 15 years to get my benefits.
How are you making money?
Oh, I'm a VA disability with dependents. We have 2 kids.
Right. Okay. 4,700 twice a month?
No, I make 4,700 once a month, and he makes 3,600 twice a month, and it equals between 11 and 12.
Are you going to get this?
So she's got disability. He's in the Navy too.
Disability too?
Oh, yes, I will.
There's not a single veteran that has come on the show that does not just get endless money for the rest of their life with disability.
It breaks your body and
really
mine.
does. I'm old. I've done a lot.
And by the way, endless money for the rest of your life, blah, 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 is not true, right? If you're 100% permanent and total, P&T, basically, unless there's some type of miraculous improvement, you got it for the rest of your life. Most people are at some other level, right? 10%, 20%. It only works in 10s. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. And they're not permanent and total. At any point, while they're going to the doctor, or if they call them in for an exam, right, and they're showing improvement, their rating will change and their monetary amount will change.
I'm a police officer for the Navy, so I've done a lot of hardworking stuff throughout the time. Which I got issues all around.
But even people that just serve for like 3 years and they just add on a base, they get it. Like there's not been one single person on this entire show that doesn't get thousands of dollars for the rest of their life. I think.
Well, how do you know? I mean, are people coming on and saying I'm a veteran and I don't get disability, or are they bringing it up because they're a veteran and they got disability and they're telling you where their income comes from?
It's like 5% of our budget now. It's something crazy.
Like that.
This is disabilities forever.
Well, they serve their
It's not. First of all, it's not. The only people who are and technically they don't like to put it in writing that you're forever, but when you get P&T, you're basically forever, right? When you're 100% permanent and total. Some people are 100% not permanent and total.
and they probably have earned it.
It's disability.
Yeah, I get that, but there's things that when you serve your country and you break your body or you can't.
I totally agree. I'm saying every single person that has ever been on the show who has literally just sat at a base and did nothing.
And I also guess this. I know a lot of them. Yes,
Well,
they will be able to claim some stuff. Yes.
I'm not saying if you go get hurt or anything. Like I think that's why it's there, right?
Yes.
Right.
There are things that are basically almost given like claims, right? If you've served in the military. Some of them are like fucking hearing loss, tinnitus, right? Almost everybody that served in the military, because you're shooting guns, you can almost always get tinnitus. But that's 10% disability. You know what I'm saying? It's 10% disability. It's not permanent. It's not total. It's 10%.
That's what it's intended for.
That's what it's intended for. But whew, okay.
Now zoom out beyond the VA and the hundreds of billions of dollars we spend there, and the problem becomes substantially worse.
The only way to get permanent and total for mental health issues is it has to be severe enough that it's documented for a long ass time, usually like a decade. But even like cancer is not guaranteed permanent payment, right? If your cancer goes into remission, they drop your disability payments or end them.
So here's a trivia question for you. How many food stamp recipients, if you had to guess, don't have any children?
Anyways, again, a channel that I don't often agree with covered this. So let's see. This guy was a Green Beret. Let's see what he's got. Valhalla VFT or VHT, VFT.
And also think about this. This piece of shit's got no problem sending 40 billion of US
By the way,
dollars to
Valhalla points this out in a minute. But in case you didn't know, Matt Walsh is at the perfect age group. He could have served the entire global war on terrorism. He's old enough to where he could have served the entire 2 decades of war. How much service did he put in?
to our greatest allies' military, but when it comes to compensating some service member who's got both his legs blown off in combat, that's where Matt Walsh says, not on my dime, brother.
I think it's because he's more of like a right-wing libertarian. So when they're like shooting people in the fucking streets, he doesn't give a fuck if they're lesbian. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Matt Walsh could have joined and literally spent 20 fucking years in combat. He didn't. That's weird.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. And I got to tell you guys, there's very, very rarely anything on social media that actually pisses me off. But today we got that for you because it turns out over at the Daily Wire, shocker, Ben Shapiro's.
Oh, shit.
Jennifer Wink 1718 just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you very much for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. Jennifer Winkler.
Personal little whipping boy, Matt Walsh, decided to take time out of his very busy schedule of sitting in the hotel corner chair being the world's biggest cuck to make some pretty insane statements that he actually believes that the most fraud being committed in the United States is not by Somali daycare owners, it's by disabled veterans. Yes, theater kid Matt Walsh, who never served a day in his life, is now taking up the mantle of bringing down these disabled veteran fraudsters because Matt believes just because you had your legs blown off in combat, if you're still able to work, you shouldn't be entitled to disabled benefits. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, helps the channel. Now let's jump into this and see what this pencil neck fucking dork had to say about disabled veterans. So how'd this whole thing transpire? Yes, so it turns out Matt Walsh decided to attack Graham Plattner, Senator candidate from Maine, not for being a Democrat, not for his policies, but Matt's big issue with Graham is that he's a 100% disabled veteran. Yes, Graham Plattner, who served 4 combat tours in the Marine Corps in Afghanistan and Iraq. Yes, Matt Walsh believes he is the biggest problem in this country. Let's take a watch.
So take, for example, the curious case of Graham Plattner, who's running for the Democrat Party's nomination for U.S. Senate in Maine. And Plattner is best known as the guy with the Nazi tattoo who supposedly didn't realize it was a Nazi tattoo. But what's interesting about Plattner is not the tattoo. What's interesting about him is that as of now, he has a disability rating of 100% from the Department of Veterans Affairs, which stems from his deployment to Afghanistan and Iraq. Now, publicly, Plattner has said that these benefits amount to roughly $5,000.
Deployments. Put some fucking respect on his name. Deployments, plural.
A month or about 60 grand a year. Now, wait a minute, you might say. 100% disability. How can someone who is 100% disabled to the point that they receive a substantial amount of cash every year from the taxpayer possibly serve as a U.S. senator?
Well, Matt Walsh, let me explain it to you since you couldn't have taken 10 seconds out of your fucking day to not embarrass yourself.
There are people saying, well, you can't blame Matt Walsh because he probably is only familiar with Social Security disability. Yes, I fucking can. If he's going to go on and broadcast to his hundreds of thousands of viewers, he should be well versed in whatever the fuck he's talking about. Yes, I can blame him.
Military and VA disability compensation works is not stating that if you're 100% disabled, that means you're literally a vegetable. It's a rating scale for the math that works in compensating the veteran for the damage done to his mind, body, brain, and psychology during service. Okay, so as a disabled veteran myself, let me explain some of the types of things you may be compensated for. Like I had both my shoulders completely reconstructed after a military freefall in Army Special Forces halo jump. That left me having to have both of my biceps reattached to my pectoral muscles because my labrums were gone. Having to have my labrums rebuilt with metal rods and anchors. I had to have my AC joints opened up, reattached. My rotator cuffs had to be fixed as well. Multiple back surgeries, multiple knee surgeries, and that's just some basic orthopedic stuff I had to be done. And you know what that means? I have to deal with those injuries for the rest of my life. Yes, I can't go out and do the things that I would
deployments, yes,
anymore because I paid the physical price, much like my brothers and sisters did across the entire military in their time, especially in the global war on terror. But this goes back to even the Vietnam War. Yes, my dad, who just had a stroke this year, has had multiple quadruple bypass surgeries on his heart, all due to Agent Orange. Most of his friends have all died from cancer at this point. So you're not only being compensated.
By the way, this is more of a recent thing as well, like how accepting and the benefits and the VA actually being there for veterans, right? They used to tell veterans to get fucked. You guys not remember Lieutenant Dan from the movie? And he was just fucked. Oh, you lost both your legs? Well, here's $200 a month and you can go to college if you want.
Compensated for the damage done to your mind, body, and brain, but for the typically decades that are taken off your life as well as a combat veteran. And Matt Walsh, you've never served a fucking day in your life. What would you know? What would you know about what Graham Plattner has to do?
I think Graham Plattner did 3 tours in Iraq with the Marine Corps and then 1 tour in Afghanistan with the Army National Guard, I think. I just got that from a podcast, but I think that's what he said.
Deal with, probably with pretty substantial PTSD from 4 combat deployments in the Marine Corps in Iraq and Afghanistan. You wouldn't have any fucking clue what veterans have to deal with. So why is Matt Walsh actually attacking Graham Plattner? Well, the answer is pretty easy when we look into it. Yes, let's head on over to APAC Tracker and see what we got. Oh, well, look at that. Graham Plattner, $0 from APAC. Very, very critical of our greatest ally. And we already know when Ben Shapiro cracks the whip, the best little Shabbos goy, Matt Walsh, jumps in line.
Matt Walsh, you're such a good little Shabbos goy. No, I'm a man. I have a beard and I wear a flannel shirt. I'm a man. But when the Jews crack the whip, get back to work, Matt Walsh. Get back to work. Do not criticize Israel. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Ben Shapiro.
And we'll start attacking who he's supposed to attack.
Like, what does the term 100% mean? Because when I hear that, I think, oh, totally disabled.
Yeah, because I just told you, you didn't do 10
No,
seconds.
you've maxed out their scale that they're willing to offer, right? That's what it means. They have a scale of how we're going to pay you. And it's supposed to compensate for your potential they took away from you. Like, all the fucking missed school things, or the things you can't go to, or the things you couldn't be there for, or work, or relationships and family and divorce and fucking suicidal ideations, or whatever the fuck they took away from you. You've maxed out the scale, the max they're going to give you.
Seconds to research to actually look up what VA disability actually means. Now you've been enlightened.
Like, you are not able to do anything, and yet you can serve as a U.S. senator?
Also, what is a U.S. senator's job? To sit in a fucking chair and cast votes? Yeah, why don't you relax, guy?
But for that matter, he also continues to work as an oyster farmer and harbor master. Well, how does he do that if he's 100% disabled?
Oh, Matt Walsh doesn't understand. How could somebody that's classified as
Thank you for the hop train. I think it ended. Thank you very much.
disabled in the military still work? How could they do it? How could they have a job? Matt, do you know how many of my friends have blown off legs that are working? Yeah, it turns out they still want to have purpose in life. They still want to actually contribute to society, but they deal with very, very real problems. And that little bit of disabled benefits that they get actually does help their family get by, because there's a lot of added expenses that you wouldn't realize that go into dealing with all of these psychological and physical injuries. And I'll show you one of our friends. So yes, Matt, this is a man named Nick the Machine Lavery, who most of my viewers are already going to know. But Matt, why don't you take a look at Nick here? You see, Nick is actually the first Green Beret with an above-the-knee amputation to not only continue to serve in the U.S. military, but also deploy back to war and combat. And so while you wouldn't understand this, Matt, because you never had the courage to sign...
It's pretty tough. The rejection rates are high. So the only benefit you have getting VA disability is they have a duty to assist. It's law. It's federal law. So like, it's really hard to get your military records, and a lot of times units are incentivized to not record things accurately, whether they don't want to do paperwork, or they don't want to do this, or a write up, or do whatever, right? So they have a duty to assist in helping you get your paperwork. If you say this happened, they have to go fucking look for it. And in combats, okay, they basically give you the benefit of the doubt, because stuff gets lost in the shuffle, stuff that you write down. Like if we're all in combat and you say, yeah, a mortar landed, within 10 meters of me or whatever, of my bunker. They're not going to specifically find what bunker you were in, why you were assaulting this building, and where you were at and who was there. But if you got a buddy that says, yeah, a mortar landed fucking right beside us, they have to give you the benefit of the doubt for that.
Sign on the dotted line and serve your nation like the people you're complaining about are. But it turns out there are men like this out here. Here's Nick. You going to tell him he's not disabled, Matt? He shouldn't be getting his benefits because he can still be active?
And they send you in with to a CMP exam. And a CMP exam is basically a doctor that specializes in your field, that their job is supposed to be to see if you're fucking lying. Right? You're claiming you have these symptoms or whatever. You've been seeing a doctor for 5 years for mental health or whatever. And the doctor is supposed to prove if you're lying or not. And you're locked in a room with them for a few hours. The first time I left there, fucking bawling my eyes out and couldn't drive myself home. Like, it fucking sucks.
Because he can still find purpose, because he can still manage to work a job. He shouldn't be compensated for what's been done to his body. That's your take? And you know what's really poetic about Matt Walsh complaining about disabled veterans, especially global war on terror disabled veterans? Matt Walsh was born on June 18th, 1986, 1 month before me. And you know what demographic that puts him in American males? Yes, the demographic that could have fought the entire global war on terror. But did Matt Walsh sign up? Did Matt Walsh volunteer to step in the breach and defend his country? No, he didn't, did he? But he still has the fucking gall to complain about those who did.
If you're capable of becoming a U.S. senator, and if you're capable of working on a boat for a living, then you are not 100% disabled, and you don't need $60,000 from the taxpayer on account of your disability, period.
Hey, pussy boy, let me explain why the VA disability system has been changed to what it is now to make sure that veterans are being taken care of. Because what you had, especially during the Vietnam War, was all of those guys coming back basically getting no compensation whatsoever.
That's literally, it's not about treatment. They don't give you medicine. They don't write your prescriptions. The CMP exam has nothing to do with treatment. It is an evaluation of your claims. That's it. The doctor is there to disprove your claims or prove your claims. It sucks.
An entire generation of Vietnam veterans completely fucked. And we were still doing it to global war on terror veterans up until 2004. So what was happening is you would have service members, some of them 14, 15, 16, 17 years in the service, who would be downrange, get both their legs blown off by an IED, would come back, and you know what would happen? They would get about 20% disability. They would get removed from the military. They wouldn't even be retired because they didn't make it to 20 years. And we said, thanks for your service. Here's 30% disability. We know you don't have any legs anymore, but here's $1,000 a month to help you with your life. And it turns out, luckily, Congress changed a lot of this legislation and laws to make sure that disabled veterans actually are taken care of when they come back from war. Yes, war, because this is also the other thing that's so hypocritical of Matt Walsh and his friends over at the Daily Wire, is those neocons are the first ones that are salivating, begging to send your sons and daughters to go die or get maimed in a foreign fucking war. Matt Walsh can't get ahead of himself fast enough to go put boots on the ground in another foreign country, but at the same time doesn't want to compensate those soldiers for the damage that's done to them when they come home from war. And so here's the thing. No, actually, America does do this system right. It turns out if we're going to send our young men and women to go fight and die in forever wars, then we as a society are actually pretty obligated to make sure that they're taken care of in the best way possible when they come home. And here's another thing for you, Matt Walsh. If you're complaining about veteran benefits, you know the recruiting station was open to everyone, especially you, because you were 18 in 2005, hadn't even had the second Battle of Fallujah yet. You could have signed up, but you didn't. And so anybody who's complaining about what veteran benefits are or what veterans are getting, again, go sign up. The recruiting office is literally open to everybody. Every U.S. citizen has the opportunity to walk in that door, serve their nation, and yes, be entitled to benefits afterwards. And also think about this. This piece of shit's got no problem sending $40 billion of U.S. taxpayer dollars to our greatest allies military, but when it comes to compensating some service member who's got both his legs blown off in combat, that's where Matt Walsh says, not on my dime, brother. And so here's my final message to you, Matt Walsh, you skinny, fat little chud dork. Until you actually do anything of value to serve this country, how about you keep veterans and disabled veterans' names out of your mouth? That's gonna do it for this one. Catch you on the next one.
Damn. I like that video. That was pretty good. Fuck Matt Walsh. I told you in that fucking when that WAPO article or whatever the fuck it was came out that this is going to be their new talking point, and they're slowly moving that way. More and more people will get on board. I don't know. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Stuff that never affects them. That's not going to affect them. That's not going to affect their kids. That's not going to do anything. But they don't want veterans to have it. I don't give a goddamn if it's 10% of our fucking budget. Let's do it. How about that? Let's fucking take care of the people who took care of us. Here's a palate cleanser, I think.
Takis in a donut.
Cookies in my ass.
Why wouldn't you want to be a girl?
Because your vagina bleeds and we don't like it. We're too nervous. Yeah. Beautiful boobies. They're so long.
Get out!
You have beautiful boobies. They're so long.
Yeah. Oh.
You did?
Why do you have him as a husband?
I have no idea. Why do you have him as a dad?
It's not my fault.
I done told you stop doing that. They gonna think something wrong with you, man. Put the window up and take a nap, boy. Damn.
Get your fucking shit together.
Oh, hell.
I fucking love you.
I don't, if there are people scamming the system, I don't know how the fuck they do it, right? I've got fucking binders on top of binders on top of binders of paperwork. And you guys know I just got my disability straightened out, fucking a few months ago? Less than 6 months ago? Like, what the fuck? I don't know how the fuck they did it.
Love you.
I don't freaking care. You need to get your toenails done.
I know.
Terrible.
To a random person.
Blue-haired one. Thanks.
Well, you don't have hair. What the fuck with the weather? I'm a bad monster sucker.
Wendy!
It looks like our grandma.
No,
Gus, what did you say Dad's shirt says?
Fat whore.
What does it say?
Fat whore. I'm getting out of here.
I don't swear like that either. I would never say that in front of him. I'm not lying to you.
Shut up, bitch!
You smell
Damn.
candle?
Yeah.
What
They
does it smell
smell like fucking shit.
Takis in a donut.
Kids are funny. That was good. That was good. Kids are funny. Damn, our time together is almost over, guys. It goes by quick, especially when you guys start late. You fucking Douchebags. Check this out. A beautiful tribute from Spain for Stephen Hawking. A group of Spanish carnival performers have paid tribute to Stephen Hawking with an eccentric homage. The performers were taking part in a Cadiz carnival group contest. Dark humor was intended as a sincere tribute. Beautiful. Beautiful. What do you call a posse of these? Like a club, a gang? What do you call this? A pod, a gaggle, a collective, a Hawkings. And then we have protesters showing up at a church, but why, Will? Oh, one of the pastors of the church is the head of the local ICE office, or the regional ICE office. He's the director of the regional ICE office.
David Easterwood is a pastor here. He is also the director of the field office for ICE in St. Paul. So someone who claims to worship God,
Murder of Hawkins.
people in this church about God, is out there overseeing ICE agents. Think about what we've experienced. The murder of Renee Good at the hands of ICE.
A flockings.
Shot by ICE. A 6-month-old baby who almost died.
Oh, have you guys heard about the 6-month-old baby that got flashbanged and tear gassed? A family of 4 coming home from their daughter's basketball game, turns on their neighborhood street, sees cops everywhere, says, uh-oh, not for me, turns around and says, we're just not going home, tries to drive away. They are attacked by ICE, flashbangs, and tear gassed. The 6-month-old baby stops breathing and has to be rushed to the hospital. The administration says, well, you shouldn't be agitators bringing your kids to disrupt ICE. Then has to delete that post when they find out they were just trying to go home.
As a result of ICE unleashing military-grade weapons on our community. How dare you claim to be a pastor of God and you are involved in evil in our community?
I think Jesus would be understanding. We're about worship. These folks. We're about spreading the love of Jesus. But did you try to talk to them? No one had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday, and we were interrupted by this group of protesters. Yeah. We asked them to leave, and
I think this motherfucker's AI, maybe.
Obviously have not left.
Clearly, domestic terrorist, I think. They start them young, right when they come out of the womb. The only worst thing they could do is literally show up in a delivery room and flashbang a baby in the birth canal. Here's that story I was just talking about, the family of agitators.
The official Department of Homeland Security account deleted a post they made calling the family whose car was struck with a flashbang by ICE agents in Minnesota radical agitators.
The official account. It is horrific to see radical agitators bring children to their violent rights. Please stop endangering your children. 2 children, including a 6-month-old, were hospitalized last night after federal agents deployed tear gas during Wednesday night's protest, according to the Minneapolis Office of Community Safety. They deleted this because the family was just coming home from their daughter's basketball game. And ICE had turned their neighborhood into a fucking war zone. They were trying to leave.
Remember, the actions of these agents led to 2 children, including a 6-month-old, going to the hospital. The 6-month-old even stopped breathing. And DHS responded with this: "It is horrific to see radical agitators bring children to their violent riots. Please stop endangering your children." This family was driving home from their oldest child's basketball game. When they entered their neighborhood, they saw chaos and tear gas everywhere, so they tried to leave, and that is when they were flashbanged by these agents. All of the airbags in their car deployed as a result of the blast, and the 6-month-old stopped breathing and had to be rushed to the hospital. This is not disputed. These are public facts. What is disputed, however, is DHS's response, calling this family radical agitators, despite the fact they were not participating in any protests and were literally trying to leave. DHS conducted no independent investigation before making that post, because their goal wasn't the truth or transparency. It was to shift the blame away from the ICE agents who used force and onto the family. The official Department of Homeland Security.
Imagine your family of 4 driving home from your daughter's basketball game. You get attacked by ICE trying to leave an area that they had cordoned off, made into a fucking war zone in your neighborhood. You're just trying to leave the area. You get flashbanged. One of your kids stops breathing. Both have to be hospitalized overnight from the flashbang and the tear gas. And then ICE calls you radical agitators. You think that's the way you're going to vote in the midterms? Fucking, these people are fucking insane, dude. Comply or die, bro. I heard someone asked this question. And a 6-month-old baby isn't a rioter. Eat a dick. What? And I can't stop thinking about it. Why do police are wearing camouflage? Like, when did we go from like the friendly neighborhood officer that like kids are supposed to be able to go talk to the most tacked out fucking goddamn mall tactical fucking every goddamn apparatus on your vest and full camouflage and full battle rattle and helmets and like, what the fuck? Even in my town, we have armored vehicles. My town has like fucking 5,000 people. We have armored vehicles. Like, that's fucking insane, right? No? What the fuck are they doing? Also, the DOD gift from the Fed. Yeah, but I can understand if they need to roll it out for like a hostage situation. But that's the way they all are now. Definitely weird. DOD stepping in to take over what has been the unbiased military newspaper that has been around for fucking decades, the Stars and Stripes.
The Pentagon says it is taking over what was supposed to be an independent military newspaper. Stars and Stripes has been around since World War II. It gets half its funding from the Defense Department, but federal code says it is supposed to be independent and military officials cannot tell them.
I'm not even saying they can't have it, but why has it become the norm to see that? To be decked out like that? Like, does ICE show up like they're looking to do just a detainment, slip in, slip out, and grab somebody? No, they show up like they're ready for a fucking war. And then, isn't it ironic that's what they get?
What to publish.
What we're just trying to do is provide the most accurate and balanced journalism we possibly can for the military community.
However, yesterday the Pentagon said it is getting rid of that code because it wants to eliminate what it calls woke distractions from the newspaper.
The Stars and Stripes is like the most fucking down the line fucking newspaper I've ever seen in my life. Like, it doesn't go into politics. It doesn't make decisions. It doesn't do opinions. Like, it's an independent newspaper. They're like, no, woke, DEI, got to get rid of it.
Military community.
However, yesterday the Pentagon said it is getting rid of that code because it wants to eliminate what it calls woke distractions from the newspaper. Pentagon also said in a statement, Stars and Stripes will be custom tailored to our warfighters. It will focus on warfighting, weapons.
Propaganda. Propaganda. Propaganda, propaganda, propaganda. Fed directly to the military to put them on Trump's side. This is what it's ever PX. You see them all over the place within the military. They're all over the fucking place. And a lot of times they're just laying there somewhere where you don't have anything to do or read because you're on fucking guard duty or some shit. Propaganda. They want it to be pro-Trump. It's not woke. It's not DEI. It's not biased. It's not leftist. It's not blue-haired. It's not anything. They literally just cover stories related to the military, like this new mission or this new rifle that's coming out or new uniforms or whatever. That's it. But they want it to say, thanks to President Trump, blah, blah, blah. President Trump gave you this and President Trump gave you that. Indoctrination.
Systems, fitness, lethality, survivability, and all things military.
It's disheartening that this Pentagon leadership continues.
Here's their top news. I'm on their website. Top news. Bill designates site for Rosie the Riveter Memorial in the nation's capital. Treasury and IRS say warrior dividend is not taxable. Military now requires doctors to offer a chaperone for sensitive medical exams. National Guard troops stay on Washington, D.C. streets through 2026. Pentagon says it will refocus Stars and Stripes content. That's the one there. VA awards disability benefits using criteria from 80 years ago. Federal watchdog finds. Congress calls for expanded multilateral defense ties across Indo-Pacific. DoD commissaries expand home delivery program in 70 more locations stateside. Like, which one of these is biased fucking political? What? Nothing.
To play games with media and to stifle the free press.
You may recall last fall, the Defense Department started requiring reporters to only publish information it had previously cleared for release. That led to dozens of Pentagon reporters turning in their press badges and walking out in protest. Now, the new Pentagon press corps includes members like conservative activist Laura Loomer and former Congressman Matt Gaetz. We reached out to the Pentagon to ask.
It's under a congressional mandate that the Stars and Stripes be governed by First Amendment principles, independent of the DoD. So I don't know how they plan on doing this without getting Congress to do something, but they do.
Congressman Matt Gaetz. We reached out to the Pentagon to ask about the Stars and Stripes newspaper's concerns of censorship. The Pentagon would not answer our questions, instead simply referring us back to the statement they had posted on X. The Pentagon says it is taking over what was supposed.
Might as well. What else can they turn into a propaganda wing? More commenters in chat saying, but the riots, bro. But the riots, bro. No one likes rioters, bro. Here's the last one, Palantir.
I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who've tried to screw us.
The head of Palantir wants to spray fentanyl-laced urine on analysts that try to stand in their way of their new police state.
Carp, the CEO of the AI tech company Palantir, joking about using drones to spray critics with fentanyl-laced urine. Now his company is deploying terrifying surveillance tools for ICE. Already, Palantir has billions of dollars in contracts across government agencies like the DoD, DHS, and HHS. And in early 2025, it was tasked to create a single searchable database with the personal information of every single citizen. ICE is using Palantir's Elite app to consolidate data from government agencies into maps of deportation targets, assigning a confidence score to a person's current address. Civil liberties groups say the tech violates Fourth Amendment warrant requirements. But that's not all. Recently, ICE has gone on a $29 billion shopping spree, purchasing tech that allows phone tracking without warrants, remote device hacking, facial recognition, and AI profiling. ICE's budget for 2025 makes the agency the 14th most
well-funded military in the world, ISIS. Just behind Israel.
Funded military in the entire world, and they're being deployed on our streets. This is not about left versus right. The government is seizing on people's fear of immigrants, fear it has stoked for years, to take more power and expand surveillance and control over us. That's tyranny, and we need to come together to stop it.
I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine.
Palantir should terrify everybody. I just don't get it when MAGA's like, well, I don't care. I'm at work, so you don't have to worry about me being in their database. I'm busy. Do you think Trump is going to be president forever while these tools are being built? Let's say your worst nightmare, a fucking Somalian American U.S. citizen who's barely 35 years old and only owns tan suits, and he's a socialist, gets elected next. What do you think he's going to fucking do with it? Hopefully nothing. But what's the worst case scenario he does with it? I guess I should have made it a woman, too. A female Somalian American who only has tan pantsuits. It's like they can't see fucking 90 days in advance, dude. They're about to lose the goddamn midterms. What can Congress do with this power? We would protest, but I'm too busy working fucking 14 hours a day and still can't afford groceries. Yeah, that's the problem too, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm busy at my third job. So I can afford health care for my unvaccinated child. Fuck. Guys, support the show so I can afford health care for my unvaccinated child. I heard they shortened... Hold on, let me try something. New feature rolled out. So it should be this. Copy that and paste that. Don't do it, Dr. J. Damn it. And then you should be able to type in JQT .li / username. Okay, so I can take down this part. JQT for just quick tools.li for links, and then cold beer confessional. Let's try that link. Let's see if it works. That's the new short link. They made a short link for it. Let's see if it works. It works. There you go, chat. Thank you guys for joining us. Support the show. There's the link. Don't use Dr. J. Use the link. Use my link. It's much better. Help us pay the bills around here for my unvaccinated children. You guys have a good night. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Sorry I was late. I'll be back earlier tomorrow. I got to get up early in the morning. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you about the next one. Have a good night. Love you. See you. Bye. JQT.li / cold beer confessional.
Happens to see this particular show, you don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and telling the rest of the world who they are. You don't.
I think they'll probably stack a bunch of really weird events and deadlines and shit right before the midterms. Trump's already joked about it twice about canceling the midterms or not having them. We're doing such a good job, we shouldn't even have them. You know, China, they get, you know, their leaders are in charge for a long time, you know? I wonder why.
Cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6 cents for the stupid shit. Where my true believer?
But there's riots, bro.
All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like four in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best.
Oh, that was weird. The music slowed down for a second. Did you see that?
Cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better.
That was strange. Anyways.
You ain't seen none yet. I used to find.
Have you guys seen the Japanese troops are rolling out the creepy robot dogs?
Open his closet, I found some of his.
Atsuko, are you here? Can you take a picture? So the Japanese troops are in Tokyo right now doing training, and they got robot dogs with them. Can you get a picture of that or a video?
Baby, and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait,
Ice King is an ICE agent. I don't know if you guys know that, but
come on.
he's actually the King ICE agent.
Arms and alcohol. Oh, give me a. Oh my God. Damn it. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that's.
Okay, that's not true. I made it all up. I take it back.
None yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit.
Also, I'll be publishing his address later tonight.
You better buckle up,
just in case.
None yet. Round 3. Down goes me.
Good night, guys.
Backed up on the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat. Now things